All right, it's your boy KJ, the host of the Broadcast Podcast, SL Sports Language, the lives and the latest news and information about sports. And let me put it like this: if you disagree with what I say, debate me about it. If you have an opinion, debate me about it. If you don't like what I said, debate me about it. Speaking of debating me about it, put it in the comment section. Hold on, the comment section. Yes, like, comment, subscribe, so you can get your latest news and information and videos from SL Sports Language YouTube channel. Now, let's get this started. So, in latest news, in the outbreaking news, kind of bold, actual bold statements from my man, Dwayne Wade, Wade County, number 3, three-time NBA champion, has made multiple finals appearances in 06, 11, 12, 13, 14, Hall of Famer, top 75, all-time 75 list, top 5 two guard, top 5 defensive two guard, one of the best to ever do it, Flash, coming out of Chicago. And he said something. He said something on Carmelo Anthony podcast. He said if it wasn't for injuries, he says he was on a trajectory of being just like Mike. He was on the trajectory of being like Mike before them injuries, when he went on that championship run in 06, becoming the finals MVP. And then he says if it wasn't for those injuries, he would have surpassed Royal Airness. He would have surpassed Jumpman. He would have surpassed MJ. I want to be like Mike. He would have surpassed Mr. Black Cat. He would have surpassed the GOAT, the greatest of all time, whether it be to the old heads or to the new schools. So that's what your boy Dwayne Wade saying, man. Yes, he said it, not me. He said it, not me. Now, how I feel about who's the greatest of all time between MJ or LeBron James the King, hey, I don't know. I can't say. I have my opinions, you know what I mean? Some days it's MJ, some days it's LBJ, who knows? But Dwayne Wade is saying if it wasn't for them injuries, and before them injuries, he was on the path of going up. Now, here's the injuries, and now we're going to get into the facts, and then I'm going to break it into my opinion. It's going to be an all-in-one. Oh, wait, all-in-one? Yes, facts and opinions, all-in-one. So, let's break down the facts. Dwayne Wade, coming out of Marquette, coming out of Chicago. He got looked at by the Miami Heat, was the 5th pick in the 03, stacked 03 draft, by the way. LeBron going number 1, Carmelo Anthony, and then you got Chris Bosh going to the Raptors, and then Dwayne Wade pick up. He was like a sneaky pick. He was like a real good, yeah, you can say that. He was like a real good sneaky pick because people was looking at Dwayne Wade, but not before that Marquette versus Kentucky game when they had that big upset, when Marquette upset Kentucky. For one, that put Marquette on the map, and for 2, that really put Dwayne Wade on the map. And for 3, even Dwayne Wade said it, I believe, in his statue speech or his Hall of Fame speech, that because of that game, Pat Riley had watched him. And if you know Pat Riley is not only one of the greatest coaches, coaching the Showtime Lakers, coaching the New York Knicks back when they had Ewing, but also coaching the Miami Heat, you know what I mean, back then, and then going into a GM. And Pat Riley, he's one of the best GMs of all time. If it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be no Big 3. If it wasn't for him, I mean, we wouldn't have the teams, or the Miami Heat would not have the teams that they were rebuild with that they had now. If it wasn't for him, Eric Spoelstra would not be the coach of the year with the influence that he has had. So I say that to say this: Pat Riley knew what he was doing when they made sure to pick up Dwayne Wade. Now, when Dwayne Wade came into the league, boom, he came in booming. Some will argue, or maybe because people from my way, Dade County, some will argue that in the beginning seasons, you can make an argument that Dwayne Wade was up there with LeBron. Because, yeah, LeBron was the chosen one, but you got to think about it. Dwayne Wade coming in 03, so 03, 04, 05, 06, either within 2 seasons or 3 seasons, this man already gets his first ring. And then when LeBron tried to do it himself, LeBron couldn't, with the Cleveland Cavaliers getting swept by the Spurs. But I digress. When Dwayne Wade did his thing with Shaquille O'Neal, Antoine Walker, Alonzo Mourning being the veteran, and they doing their thing, man, versus that's one of the all-time Heat rosters going against the Mavericks. Come on, man. Winning the NBA Finals MVP, that young too. Besides Magic Johnson winning in his rookie year. I mean, you got to give it to him. You just got to give it to D-Wade, man. D-Wade, one of the greatest players of all time, Hall of Famer. We know that for a fact. But we talk about MJ, Michael Jordan, Hall of Fame, 6-time NBA champion. You got to think about how he did it too. First repeat, then he takes a break, plays baseball, comes back, transform his body into a basketball body from a baseball body, then go on another 3-peat. Could have been a 4-peat if he really wanted to, but then come back for 99. Come on, man. Come on. Then you got to think about his early years. Black Cat could have won Defensive Player of the Year. One of the best to ever do it. Shooting rise. Can shoot the three. Dwayne Wade wasn't really known as a 3-point shooter. I wouldn't really. Yeah, Dwayne Wade had game winners, but can you say Dwayne Wade is a 3-point shooter? And even some might say Dwayne Wade is not really a shooter. Now, I don't care if you're a 3-point shooter or not. Can you go to the hole? Can you take it to the hoop? Do you got that range? And I'm talking about that midi. I'm talking about that lay. I'm talking about that dunk. I'm talking about that baseline. I'm talking about that explosiveness. Now, you can say Dwayne Wade had explosiveness, but does he got that MJ explosiveness? Does he got that Black Cat explosiveness? Get up off the ground? Now, let's just say we did want to compare the two. And let's compare the Wade before he got real injured. And factual statement, by the way. This is a factual statement because I read it in the newspaper. I have, not the newspaper, but the online newspaper when I did my research. They say Dwayne Wade was in his prime around 07-09. You can say that, right? Okay, 07-09, averaging 30 points a game. And then he started to get shoulder injuries and knee injuries. That's what halted him, in his opinion, from being the type of player that could have surpassed Michael Jordan, right? And then we look at MJ. MJ coming and doing his thing, 84, 85, 86, and so on and so forth before he retired. Let's compare the two. Dwayne Wade before he got injured, which is probably around like 06 when they went on that championship run. Dwayne Wade can shoot the midi, take it to the hole, pass. But defense was his number one thing. It was like a half defense, half offense, blocking shots, getting up off the ground. Now, when you look at MJ, and this is before I was born, when you look at MJ old highlights, whether it be rookie highlights, whether it be the 90s, not only could MJ get up off the ground, make great passes, but he was explosive. You seen him in the dunk contest. You seen him in the end games. His steals, his drive. I mean, taking it to the lane. No threes, by the way. No threes. And MJ was a better shooter because if he wanted to shoot the three, MJ could. Was he as elite? No. But then again, MJ still was good shoot. You seen what he did against the Portland Trailblazers with the, I don't know, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing it. You seen what he did that night. Dwayne Wade never had those nights from the three. But let's take the three out of the equation, right? When Dwayne Wade compares himself to MJ, I'm pretty sure Dwayne Wade is talking about not only explosiveness, but he's also talking about athleticism. Now, some may say, especially old heads from that era, they may say, oh, nah, Dwayne Wade ain't close to MJ. But some may say, whether it be the Pat Rileys, whether it be the coaching staff, and I done seen in interviews, they said for a minute they got the closest thing to MJ with those early Heat years. Like I said, you can look it up. When you look at old documentaries, old interviews, you had the coaching staff of the Miami Heat saying Dwayne Wade at one point was the closest thing to MJ. But hey, they had a lot of comparisons to MJ at one point. Some may say Vince Carter could have been MJ if he had that Mamba mentality, if he had that killer instinct. Now, Dwayne Wade had that killer instinct. Dwayne Wade had that mentality day in and day out. So, what could have halted him from surpassing MJ? Of course, injuries, right? But people in the comment section and people who's watching this, do you really think MJ and Dwayne Wade, or do you think Dwayne Wade could have really been like an MJ? Could he been close? Now, let me give my opinion now. I'm about to go off the script, off the dome. I'm about to kill y'all with this. You know what I mean? Not literally, but figuratively. Because, you know, I be giving out bars. You know what I mean? I be spitting. I be hitting you with the truth when it comes to sports. And this is when we about to get into the real debate, KJ. Listen, I'm going to say no. And here's why I'm going to say no, Dwayne Wade couldn't have been on MJ. It will not be seen as an MJ. Is he one of the best two guards? Yes. Is he one of the best defensive two guards? Yes. Without a doubt, man. Putting on for the city. Putting on for Trail 5. Dade County, Wade County. Yes. But here's why. Because if you wanted to compare, and a lot of people do this. Some people may say, oh, it was easier back then for MJ because compared to all the players, MJ didn't go against a lot of stars like that compared to now. These players going against the Steph Currys, LeBrons, KDs, da 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 da. But then some may say flip flop it. Well, back then it was tough. Back then it wasn't a lot of fouls called to where now you can barely touch anybody. Y'all can drive to the hoop, drive to the lane, all this 3-point shooting. That was easy for the new guys. Whatever you want to say. I bring that up to say this. Yes, did Dwayne Wade have as many chances of winning a certain amount of rings and championships as MJ? Yes. But MJ did not have the stacked team that Dwayne Wade had. Yes, MJ had in the early three-peat, the first three-peat, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and I mean, yeah, you can say he had like Paxton and stuff like that for the 3-point shot, but that team compared to the Heatles, compared to the three-peat, well, not the three-peat, but the big three, who made 4 NBA Finals appearances and only won 2. Let me repeat that again. That big three, Bosh, LeBron, Wade, all Hall of Famers who went to 4 NBA Finals appearances but only won 2, compared to Michael Jordan with him being a star, him having a co-star, Scottie Pippen, and him having another good, you can say, another good co-star, another good supporting cast, Horace Grant and Paxton or whatever. No disrespect to their name. And the rest was cool. He didn't have two more All-Stars like how Dwayne Wade did. He didn't have a big supporting bench, in my opinion, like Dwayne Wade did. And he won 3 straight in a row. Then, now you can say, okay, the second three-peat, you had my MJ, Scottie, then you had Dennis Rodman, which some may say arguably a big 3, but then in my opinion, that wasn't really a big 3. That was a duo with a key defensive player, because a big 3, all of them got to shoot, all of them got to be able to pass. Dennis Rodman was known for rebounder, steals, agitator. That was it, and he was great at it. Now, in terms of the rest of the roster, you had Ron Harper, was a good defensive point guard, but other than that, what else did you have? And now it's his second three-peat. Now let's look at my main man Dwayne Wade, his team. You had LeBron, you had Bosh, that's the big 3, right? Then you got Ray Allen, then you got Norris Cole off the bench, then you got Chalmers, you know what I mean? And not every last one of them was all-stars besides Bosh and LeBron. But come on now, Mario Chalmers, he gave you a good 20-25 minutes. Norris Cole coming off the bench, giving you 25 to 30 minutes, keeping the tempo. Ray Allen coming in, give you a good 15 to 20 minutes, shoot the 3. Then you got Shane Battier, a Blue Devil, coming off the bench, giving you a nice 3. Then you got, who else came off the bench? Chris Anderson, wasn't a scorer, got the rebounds, put back dunks when needed. Then you got my man Mac Miller, shoot the 3 with 1 shoe, 2 shoes, it don't matter. You get what I'm saying? So Dwayne Wade not only had 2 other All-Stars, 2 other Hall of Famers, he had a solid starting cast with him, but you had a solid bench. So for you to have that and only win 3 championships with that, with the amount of chances you had, 06 you won, 011 you lost to Dirk Nowitzki, one of the greatest runs, NBA Finals runs in NBA Finals history. You lost to the Mavericks. 2012, you won against a young baby OKC with the youngins of KD. That's when he was young. Westbrook, that's when he was young. James Harden, that's when he was young. Serge Ibaka, that's when he was young. They didn't have experience. Then you went against the Spurs. No. Yeah. I got that. So you lose against the 2011 Mavericks. You went against the OKC Thunder when they was young, 2012, right? That was after your third appearance. And we talking about Wade, not LeBron. And then so yeah. So you had the 06, sorry y'all. The 06 you won. 11 you lost against the Mavericks, right? Dirk Nowitzki, one of the greatest runs. Then your third appearance, right? 2012, you won against that. You won against the OKC Thunder, which was Westbrook, James Harden, KD. So you won 2 so far out of the 3 that you lost against the Mavericks. Then you win the 2013 one with the Spurs, which was a close call, by the way. You win the 2013 one, which is a close call, by the way. I repeat, a close call. 2013, that was against the Spurs. Shout out to Ray Allen. Shout out to Chris Bosh grabbing that rebound for their dear life and throwing it back to my man Ray Allen, a.k.a. Jesus Shutterworth, a.k.a. He Got Game. Then your 5th NBA Finals appearance. That's when my main man Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Euro Steppin, Tim Duncan, they come in on a revenge tour and y'all lose. So you a 3-time NBA champion with 5 chances. You have 5 chances. Not only did you only win 3 championships, you lost against the same team that you faced the year before. Now, some may say if that was MJ wouldn't have lost. That's where there's a difference. When MJ went against the Jazz, not only did he beat them right in 96, but he beat them in 97. If I'm not mistaken, no, 96, 97, 98, my bad. Not only did MJ beat them in 97, but he beat them in 98 because 99 he didn't come back. So you got to think about that. MJ beats the same team twice. He beats them in 97 Utah Jazz, Carmelo, John Stockton, and then he beats them in 98, Carmelo, John Stockton. Same roster nearly. Same thing with Dwayne Wade. So what's the excuse, Dwayne Wade? 2012, 2013 season, LeBron, Chris Bosh, Shane Battier, Ray Allen, Norris Cole, Mario Chalmers. Solid bench, solid starting cast, 2012, 2013. You guys win it by the skin of your teeth. By a rebound in the 3. Rebound from Chris, and then the 3 from my man Ray Allen. But a year later, 2013, 2014, y'all didn't even come close to winning it. And then that's when that was the end. You didn't make it back. And yes, you can say the shoulder injuries. You can say the knee. I mean, Dwayne Wade was still putting up buckets. I remember it was that 2016 season. That was one of my favorite Heat seasons. With him, Hassan, Josh Richardson, Goran Dragic. I mean, that series against the that's when Kemba Walker was there. That series against the Charlotte Hornets, when he went against the Purple Shirt Man. The Purple Shirt Man was on the sidelines talking crap, and Dwayne Wade looking at him like, yeah, I'm still him. I still got it. Putting them shots, putting up points, embarrassing him against Michael Jordan when he owned the team. Michael Jordan in the skybox, like, dang, man, why can't we never get out the first round? But you still never went back. You didn't even get close to going back. So it's like, with MJ only needed 1 co-star to go to the finals and a couple of supporting casts. Dwayne Wade, you needed not only 1 co-star, another co-star, which, let me take this back. No offense to Chris Bosh, but at some point people didn't even look at it as a big 3 no more. Not me. I looked at it as a big 2. And we can talk about that later for a whole nother video, a whole nother story. How Chris Bosh became overlooked. How Chris Bosh wasn't really a part of the big 3 no more, in my opinion. And that's just going to be like a factual and an opinion video. But you can arguably say that was a big, just a duo with a great supporting cast. Still solid. Whether you want to look at it as a big 3 or just a co-star, a duo with a supporting cast. So Dwayne Wade needed not only LeBron, not only Bosh, but you needed the rest of the supporting cast, a good roster, which you're supposed to do that around your superstar. Don't get it messed up. You need to support your cast because you don't want to end up like a Damian Lillard. You don't want to end up like a who else? Like Anthony Davis, who had to go to the Lakers to get a ring because the Pelicans won't put anything supporting around him. You don't want to end up like, and there's no disrespect to the Knicks organization, you don't want to end up like Carmelo or Ewing. They barely put anything around their superstars to where they pretty much drained all their good years out of them. That was it. But let's keep it a buck. Dwayne Wade, after LeBron left and went to Cleveland, and then you stayed with the Heat, y'all really didn't go nowhere besides the first round. When the last time, okay, after you retired, yeah, the Heat went back to the East Conference Finals, but that was after you retired. Then they went to the NBA Finals, and that was in 2020. Even though they lost that against the Lakers, that was the bubble. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was either 23 or 24. That's when they lost against the Nuggets. But here's my point. Dwayne Wade, before LeBron got there, y'all didn't get close to the finals like that. Y'all didn't even reach the finals. Then when LeBron got there, y'all reached the finals. 4 appearances, won 2. Won 2 out of the 4. Y'all lost against Dallas, which that shit, y'all should have won that. I was disappointed. Y'all win against OKC. Y'all win against the Spurs, and then y'all lose against the Spurs the following year when you just faced them the previous year. MJ is straight 6-0. And he didn't have as much talent as you had in your team. He only had 1 co-star and supporting cast. Yeah, Dennis Rodman was nice. And yes, some may argue without Dennis Rodman, they wouldn't have got to the finals. Cool. But that's not a big 3. That's not technically, in my opinion, a superstar. Yeah, he was a superstar in terms of controversial, Dennis Rodman. But he wasn't a scorer. He came with defense. Dwayne Wade, you had defense, you had offense, you had rebounders, and you only managed to win 2 with that. And all to get the 3 in total. So that's why I say they ain't gonna never look at MJ as one of the greats. With injuries or without injuries. Now, if it wasn't no injuries to his game and he was able to turn it on, even though with injuries, Dwayne Wade was still able to turn it on. He was still in his prime during those big 3 years. He was still in his prime during that big 3 era. But I guess without them injuries, he wouldn't be as fatigued, is what he's saying. I guess without them injuries, he would be on supermax. He would be able to win. I guess assuming without LeBron, I'm assuming in his mind. I'm just assuming, y'all. Don't quote me on this. But I'm assuming that he's assuming without them injuries, he could have still led the Heat to the finals without LeBron. And then if he was without them injuries, with LeBron, they probably would have won all 4 of them finals. But I feel like y'all slacked up on that NBA Finals against the Mavericks, because I remember watching that game as a jit. Y'all slacked up. I remember it was one game to where LeBron and Wade, to where the offense, like when they was on the offensive side of the court and they missed a shot, they were supposed to rush back on defense. They slacked off. They didn't even rush back on defense. It's like they just gave up. Then the Spurs game, the Spurs series in 14, when y'all lost that, when y'all could have win 3-peat, y'all gave up. LeBron tried. Dwayne Wade was putting up some numbers. The cramp game when the air conditioner went out, but a loss is a loss, a win is a win. There's a difference. And that's what's going to matter in the record books, and that's what's going to affect you, how they rank you. You dig what I'm saying? And no offense to Dwayne Wade, but how could you see yourself, without the injuries being compared to, being compared to MJ when they don't even put you on the same level as Kobe? And that's no disrespect. Kobe just another replica of MJ. But how could you put yourself up there when they don't even see you as the same as Kobe? When you mention Kobe, they don't mention Dwayne Wade. They don't even mention MJ, Kobe, or LeBron. Or MJ, LeBron, or Kobe. That's the only names you hear. You don't even hear Dwayne Wade in that mix. But does Dwayne Wade deserve his respect? Does Dwayne Wade deserve his flowers? Does Dwayne Wade deserve to be where he is today? Hall of Fame, multiple All-Stars, NBA champion? Yes. But after what I just said, his record in the finals, the chances that he had, the team that he had compared to Michael Jordan's team, that's the reasons why he will never be compared or never be up there to Michael Jordan, and he would have never surpassed them, especially with them injuries. Now, without injuries, I'm going to say no. He still want to surpass Michael Jordan, the Warrior Airness, the King, the GOAT, Jumpman, Air. You know what I mean? Taking flight. He still want to surpass MJ. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. But, hey, the opinion is yours. It's your boy KJ, the host of the Broadcast Podcast, SL, Sports Language. Listen, let me tell you something. If you disagree with what I say, debate me about it. If you got an opinion, debate me about it. If you don't like what I said, debate me about it. Speaking of the debate me about it, put it in the comment section. Wait, Comment section, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and hey, you'll be getting more notifications, more news, more videos about SL sports, you know what I mean? Sports language from me, with debates, with facts and opinions. And hey, y'all, listen, let's get this video to 100 views, 200 views, 1,000 views, and likes, man. Subscribe. We got 69. Let's go to 100. All right, y'all. Deuces.